Okay, the first thing you want to do is make sure that your machine is all the way back so that the top rail moves all the way to the back position. Then you'll just move your machine out of the way. You want to make sure on the side that on your turn bar underneath that it is loosened and open. The way you do that is you pull on this when it's in the down position, and this will come free and open up. And then you're going to feed your top leader down through your roller bar. After you've pulled your leader down through your roll bar, you will take what is the back of your quilt. This is your backing. The good side of the fabric will be going down, and you will mark the center of your backing, and on your leader you'll have a center mark, and you'll line up mark to mark like so, and then you will either pin or snap your centers onto your leader, and from there you will pin out or snap in both directions from your center out. Next, you'll take the bottom of your backing and you will pin it to the topmost rail in the front of your machine. If this doesn't turn freely on the side, you can unlock this by turning this half a turn, and now this will turn freely to give you some slack. And once again, you're just going to line up center mark to center mark, making sure that you haven't twisted your backing in any direction. You want it to be nice and straight. Find your mark, line them up, and then you would pin or snap depending on the system you have. And once again, you will start in the center and pin out in both directions so that you get a nice even pull on your fabric. Now that your backing is secured to both the front and take-up leader, on your bar underneath where we unlocked it to start, we're going to pull our tab out, swing it down, and close it so that this bar locks together. This is the part that's a little bit tricky. What you want to allow is about 6 to 7 inches from your roller bar down to where you're going to want to start quilting. And so you can turn your take-up lever back and forth and adjust that until it gets approximately where you want it to be. At that point, you're going to pull out your safety pin and you're going to roll your bar toward your quilt. And you can roll it one full turn and it'll click into place. At this point, we're going to relock where we unlock our bottom bar, or our top take-up lever here. And we're going to roll it the only direction that it will roll and lock until we get tension on our quilt backing. And you can see here that our quiltable space is going to butt right up against our bar, which is what we want. And if you have any kind of slack or if there's any kind of unevenness, you can always tighten this a little bit or pull and tuck. All that matters is that it's nice and flat where you're quilting. Next, you'll take your batting and you're going to lay it so that it covers the entire surface of where your quilt top's going to lay. Any excess you have would come down and in between your bars here and fall down and lay back here. Now that we have our batting laying in place, we haven't yet secured it, we would line up with a center mark, our top. We'd lay our top on, lining it up with our center mark here on our backing. And then you have the option of either basting it down, which you would start in the center and baste this way, and then start in the center and baste this way, or you have the option to pin, and you could start in the center and pin this way, and then this way. To baste, you're going to move your machine to the top center of your quilt top. You're going to do needle down and needle up, move your machine aside slightly, and pull your bobbin thread to the top. Moving your thread back to the center, I'm going to hold down my needle up, needle down button so that it moves up and down slowly, and just move back and forth a couple times to secure my stitch. Then I'll move to the side approximately an inch, needle down, needle up. If I keep my finger on the place that I just stitched, it'll keep the quilt from stretching. Move about approximately an inch, needle down, needle up. About as often as you would pin if you were pinning your top down. At the end, you can go back and forth a couple times and secure your stitch. Now that we've secured the top of our quilt top to our backing, and by doing that we've secured the batting as well, we're going to take the bottom of our quilt top, and again you would have your center marked. Down here we have our center leader. If this won't pull freely, again over here you can unlock it with a half turn. And this will come up to the top. You find center mark and center mark. And once again you're going to pin from the center out. Now that we've pinned on, we're going to let it drop here over to the side. We're going to turn our knob back about a half turn, and then when you roll it, you'll hear the click. You're going to roll up your top, making sure that it rolls up nicely and evenly. If you start to tunnel one direction or the other, you can make adjustments. You want your top quilting surface here to be a little tight, but not too tight. See how there's a little give in this? That's about perfect. There's no sag in your backing, there's no sag in your top, but it's not pulled so tight that it's going to stretch your quilt. Now you're ready to start.